Thank you for watching. I have a huge box sent by Axial Racing. It's heavy as hell, you can tell. Well, I need to open it up. And I'm thinking that this will do the job just fine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and you know what? This is way too slow. Let's let's do it the regular way. We'll bring the camera in a tiny bit closer so you can actually see what we have unboxed. There you go. The brand new Axial Yeti XL Builder's Kit. So excited about this one. Now, while some people really excel at unboxings and telling you the exact measurements of the box, the exact weight of the box, they taste the cardboard, they tell you what kind of cardboard it's made from, where the cardboard is produced and which trees were cut. I'm not one of those people, so I'm just going to pop the seals. You will see close-ups of the box, but not now. And I will tell you what I find. Again, almost made a lamp come off the ceiling. Looking inside the box, I see, well, first thing I see is huge tires. They're monstrous. Again, Falcon Wild Peak tires, like you would find in the Yeti kit. This is then the XL kit. I believe the regular Yeti XL comes with the BF Goodrich tires. It is no different than with the smaller brother. But these, I mean, just look at them. I can almost wear them if I had an extra set. Oh, mind you, you get 5 tires. If I had an extra set, I would have to get a sweater this winter because you could just walk around in weatherproof rubber all day long. I know that there's also a lot of people who lick tires and are able to tell you what kind of rubber tree they come from. I can't tell you much about it other than it seems grippy. I will empty the contents of the box because this is just a pretty useless frame as it is right now, and I will tell you what is inside. Okay, not completely done with the tires yet. I've already told you this is my 10 scale Yeti kit that I have just built. You can check out videos in the playlist if you want to. I've already told you that this car, for what they say on the box, because I claim this to be a 10 scale, that this one is huge for its class. I did a size comparison to my Terra, which is more or less 10 scale. If this is 10 scale, Axial says that the Yeti XL kit, that one is 8 scale. I believe this is 8 scale, so I believe that with these tires, and also if I compare them to any of my large scale vehicles, this will be a 6 scale, because this is almost the size of an HPI Baja tire or a Losi 5 tire. I will get some of those out as well, so you can see a comparison in a close-up and you know what kind of diameter wheels we're actually talking about over there. You get 5 tires. Why do you get 5? Is it in case you run a flat? Yeah, more or less. The kit has one really nice feature, I think, which the Ready to Run did not have, and that is a spare wheel carrier. You can easily install it on the back. I thought that the Ready to Run looked a tiny bit unfinished. They had a scale Griffin radiator in the back, which looks a tiny bit unfortunate in my book, and then they had those 2 winglets sticking up. They had like a pivot point, you could sort of flap them up and down. In my opinion, especially in a running video, that looked very, very floppy. So they got rid of that. They got rid of that radiator, and instead they have like an extra tire sitting on the roll cage in the back. Super cool, I think. The second part you find in the box are these two huge molded roll cage pieces. If I try to line them up more or less with the smaller version of the Yeti, you will see that there is a huge difference going on over here. You got a molded in fuel filler cap on this side. On the other side you have the fire extinguisher. It's in a bit of a different location than you would find it on the smaller version. But nevertheless it is there. I think that's pretty cool. Putting these roll cages together, or putting anything as plastic together, get some good plastic cutters and put a new blade in your scalpel, just so you can first of all cut out these excess material bits that are just from the injection molding, and afterwards really take your time to make sure that you get rid of the connection points, or where they used to be. If you take your time and invest a bit of work into doing that correctly, you will end up with a car that goes together a whole lot better, and it will eventually look a whole lot nicer as well. On to the next bit, which is the main part of the chassis. I will try not to crinkle the plastic too much, so you can actually hear what I'm saying. There's a ton of small parts in here as well. But the first part that really catches my eye is this main chassis. It looks similar to what you would find in the 10 scale, with the exception of these two huge battery compartments on the sides. The AXIAL is of course made to run a bit of a bigger motor, so you can fit a 6-cell brushless system in there, which I also think are ready to run, and I will be doing no different with my kit version. On to the next bag. This is a really heavy one. I see a lot of springs. It looks like there is, it looks like it is like a double spring suspension setup, like a dual rate spring, put it like that. I'm pretty sure that I'm forgetting what it's really called in English. And what they changed out, because I heard a lot of people complaining about that, are the wheel nuts. So that's also a good thing. I heard a lot of people had problems with them stripping out, or actually not finding the correct tool to undo those wheel nuts. So it seems like they have solved that as well. On the ready to run version there was like a huge flange going on, and then just a tiny hex on which you would kind of struggle to find grip. And well, it also made it a bit more difficult to actually tie them down completely or to undo them. So that is sorted. These aluminium bits over here you see, they look familiar because they kind of look similar to what I put on the smaller version of the Yeti. So these go on both ends of the trailing arms. I think that is an upgrade, I'm pretty sure it is. I will read the box a tiny bit more in a bit, just to see if I'm right about that. I think if you have seen my video in which I unboxed the regular Yeti kit, most of those upgrades that you will find compared to that ready to run, that they also apply over here. So you're talking a bit different wheels, different tires, the trailing arm upgrades. Pretty sure there's a few other things, perhaps a few gears, things like that. Over here you have the scale drivers. Two of them are skulls. I know that a lot of people are stoked about having the skulls. I do not fully understand that, but I also see that they have the dudes with the motocross helmets. Those are my favorites. So you can just pick your favorite character from these two, parts trees. 3 different heads, regular full face helmet, motocross helmet, and then the skull people. I never see dead people driving cars, so I don't really understand that. Another bag with a ton of plastic parts. I mean, I can keep telling you that there's a lot of plastics and plastic parts. These seem to be the lids that need to go on the chassis to hide your batteries eventually. And I can see a whole lot of familiar looking parts. If I compare it to the smaller version, they're just upscaled. What I like about larger cars is that it's not such a struggle and not such a pickery, finicky thing to put them together, and also for maintenance it's a bit easier than, well, an 8 scale would be a bit easier than working on a 10 scale, for example. At least that is my personal belief. This is a bag with what seems to be a huge solid rear axle. Yeah, again, no real surprises. Upscaled AXIAL front suspension arms, because the one that you find on the smaller Yeti are also used on the AXIAL. And well, again a lot of familiar looking parts. Everything looks quality. I cannot wait to put this thing together. Onto some of my favorite parts, the scale looking interior, the roof. No, wait a second, this is not the roof, this is the hood. Of course this one has a separate hood and then it has separate sides. I totally forgot about that. Where your smaller Yeti has like one big body that wraps around the roll cage after you're finished building it. The Yeti XL comes with a separate hood section, a separate roof section, a separate interior, and then two separate sides, which are very long, as you can tell. And then they also wrap behind the front wheel, so it gives you a tiny bit of extra protection if you would compare it to the smaller version. And last but not least, these raceline rims. I really like these. I did not like the ones that came on the ready to run, simply because they're chrome. I hate chrome rims, especially on an off-road car, because it will just chip off. It will look ugly really quick. I had the same issue with my Octane. That's why I changed those out for Proline rims instantly. Black ones. These come in black straight away. They look cool. They're licensed. They're raceline rims. You also get the licensed Icon shocks, which are upgrade. There's a ton of licensed stuff in this build. Axial always does a good job on replicating full-scale vehicles, getting some of the licenses in and making it as realistic as possible. And right now seeing that kind of realism applied in a slightly larger scale, in 6 scale, because they can stop advertising it as an 8 scale, this is a 6 scale. For me is really cool. This is an important release, I think, for the radio control world. We've seen a ton of solid axis stuff coming out right now in 10 scale or 8 scale, and right now we see it in larger scales. I think it will open a lot of possibilities for people who like to tinker with their setup, who want to make cars with trail suspension that are bigger, trophy trucks, stuff like that. First of all, I'm going to build this, put it together as it is supposed to be, and afterwards I cannot wait to look into the options of customizing it, putting different stuff on it, trying different body styles on it, different wheels, different tires, perhaps even different types of propulsion, is that a word? I don't know, but perhaps put like a gas engine in there or whatnot. I think that there is a lot of work to be done and there's a lot of ground to be covered with this car. I hope you found this an informative unboxing. I hope you will also stick around in the next few weeks to see how it will turn out eventually. Not just the build, but also the paint work, and afterwards all the tinkering to see what we can actually change and customize. If you want to have more info on the Axial Yeti XL kit, go have a look at the link in the description box. That will take you to the Axial Racing website. I'm sure there is a ton of info that I forgot to give you guys. For example, that you have aluminium threaded shock bodies, that there is like a scale looking extra reservoir on the shock caps, stuff like that. I will no doubt discover a whole lot as I'm building along. If you have any questions about anything that you have seen, or if you really think that I dropped the ball in a few places and that I should go over some stuff or explain it a tiny bit more by typing it to you, then don't be shy, hit me up in the comments box. If you want to be a tiny bit ahead of what I'm doing over here, or if you want to see how far along I am building this thing, because I'm pretty sure that by the time that you guys see this, that I've already started, go check out my Instagram or my Facebook. Links to both of them in the description box as well. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that yet, to see how this thing will turn out. I will first of all go to find a place for this massive box, because I do need room on the table. I need to really get organized in order to get this thing built. I'm so looking forward to getting this done, and I'm so looking forward to seeing what kind of I'm still bad at meaning to myself, what kind of alterations I can make and how I can customize it and make it my own, other than just slapping on a tiny bit of paint and putting in my own brushless system. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye.